And I think the most attractive things are things that are original. And it's really just talking about your experiences. Those who sometimes might say, I don't know what to say, I don't know what to talk about. We all have tons to talk about. Yeah. We just gotta be paying attention. And I have a few things I want to talk about, actually 4 specifically. I actually have my notes right here. I don't know if you guys can see this, but I have wrote down joy, attention, I abbreviated, but forgiveness. Joy, attention, and forgiveness, so remember that. And also, I have a name at the very top left corner. The name is Miss Jaworski. And it's funny again how this is fitting, because I remember you speaking about a teacher. And I had a teacher in high school. She was our English, what do you call it, English, language arts, and literature teacher. Have you guys ever had one of those teachers growing up in your education as the one teacher you always remember? I know we've all had that one teacher, and she was that one teacher for us in high school. I graduated from Francis Howell Central. I actually went to 3 different high schools. I graduated from Francis Howell Central, and she was that one teacher. Let's just say she embraced the 60s, right? So she was that cool, hip teacher. Like, she was like one of the first teachers that I had that allowed you to eat in class, and it was like, it's no big deal. Or if you forgot your homework or you didn't do an assignment or something, she's like, I used to do it every Thursday back when I was in high school. Like, she's just a really cool teacher. As an example, when we did the senior prank, I wasn't involved in it, probably not. I wasn't involved. I was not. I'm gonna tell you why in a second. I wasn't the cool kid, so I thought. I didn't think I was the cool kid, but I'm about to tell you that in a second. And but she actually unlocked the doors to allow some of the high schoolers to come in and put our year plate on the tiles. So they took up the tiles in the center of the floor and put like our year plate, you know, 03, class 03, et cetera, et cetera. And I think she got a lot of trouble for it. She still worked there. I think she got a lot of trouble for it, but that's the type of teacher she was. She understood it was more about just the school system and books and what we're supposed to be taught. And there was a time in class where me growing up, I actually, I gotta shorten the story up, but I was adopted by my oldest brother in middle school. But through elementary school, I went to school 40 minutes there, 40 minutes back. I was in something called a DSEC program. So I lived in the inner city, but I went to school out in Chesterfield with the other world in my eyes, right? So I got to see both sides of the world. So I got to see how everyone lived. And I really appreciate that. And once I started living with my brother, I had like a really nice house, 6-bedroom house, like 4 bathrooms. I didn't want for anything, but I went from living in a house sometimes where we didn't have running water. Sometimes it was so cold in the house in the winter that you would use the restroom and the toilet water would be frozen. So imagine going from one extreme to the other extreme. So I was really able to appreciate a lot of things and appreciate where I came from, appreciate what I saw, and that meant a lot. And being in Ms. Jaworski's class, it was a class where everyone would all be like, oh, did you get Ms. Jaworski's class this year? Are we in that class together? Like, everybody was so excited to be in her class. And once I got into her class, I never went to a prom, I never went to a dance, I never did any of those things. But at the same time, it was almost like people looked at me a certain way, I didn't see myself. And we did like these little polls. It was my senior year, we did a poll in the class. And everybody had to write down about each person, like, where do you think this person's gonna be at in the future? And to my surprise, I didn't talk a lot. I was new to the school. I was only at the school for about 1.5 years. And at the end of this poll, I was actually voted the person to be most famous, which was really weird because I didn't talk a lot. I really didn't. I didn't get a lot of confidence until that poll. And I started to see how people actually saw me, but I didn't see myself that way. And that was the one moment in my life, I don't know if I'm sure everybody has, you kind of have that one defining moment in your life you feel like kind of structured your personality and gave you that confidence to do more than what you thought you could do. Mr. Jaworski in that class, and for all of us in those classes with her, that was that one defining moment, that one defining teacher in my brain, in my history that kind of opened up a whole new world for me. And I I've looked back. So most people say, what, you didn't go to high? I didn't even drive until I was 19. I didn't have my driver's license. I didn't want to go anywhere. But I want to leave you with this. Joy is what I have whenever I work out and I play basketball, and I wouldn't have found this place if it wasn't for me doing my joy.
Yay.
Attention, whatever you put your attention on, Ms. Polly always says it, whatever you put your attention on is where your energy flows. Focus your attention on things that bring you joy. And I can't stress this more than where we are right now today, with our government, with our world. I mean, everything in your backyard, your neighbor. Focus on what brings you joy. And I don't usually use the phrase, but damn it, focus on what brings you joy. I promise you, tell me. And the last thing is forgiveness. Be able to forgive, and not forgive others, your friends, your neighbors, your family, but most importantly, forgive yourself. And I know I'm going over time, I'm going to leave you out with this last story. One of my favorite movies is Enter the Dragon, with Bruce Lee. And my favorite scene is towards the middle to end scene. He goes down to this little dungeon area, and there's a lot of people locked up that are prisoners, and he's going down there to fight like this massive army of all these guys by himself. And the prisoners are like, "Oh my God, what do you do? There ain't no way you're going to defeat all those dudes." But yet he defeats every single one with his nunchucks, right? And the prisoners like, their eyes are just this big, like, I can't believe he just did that. Then he runs to this little tunnel and then notices that he's trapped in this massive little dungeon. And there's only him. One door, one entrance, one exit. And then he looks up and he sees, I forget the bad guy's name, but he sees the bad guy. And the bad guy's looking at him like, "Hi, what are you going to do?" And then Bruce looks at him and he looks and he notices, I'm not going to be able to jump this 12, 13-foot wall. So very calmly, he takes a step back. He sits himself in Indian style, puts his nunchucks across his lap, and he's literally just meditating. Because he understands that I know I'll get out of this eventually. He just beat 50 guys by himself. But he noticed that he gets to a point to where there's really no need to fight. I'm just going to reflect. I'm going to conserve my energy for the next day, for the next fight. Because what's the sense of fighting right now? Enjoy, reflect on what you've done. Reflect on your power that you have. And be ready to focus your attention on what really matters.